The Okavango Delta, a lush paradise nestled in southern Africa, is home to one of the most diverse and intricate ecosystems in the world. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a seasonal inland delta that spans 15,000 square kilometers and supports a rich variety of wildlife. The delta is a vital source of water and food for many species, making it one of the last great wilderness areas. However, beneath its beauty lies a brutal reality: survival is not guaranteed. The delta's environment is unforgiving, with extreme seasonal variations, and competition for resources can be fierce. This is particularly evident in the Kaken area, where a pride of lions, led by two powerful brothers, faces challenges unlike any other. Their fight for survival is a testament to the unforgiving nature of the African wilderness, where predators must continually adapt or perish. The early days. A prosperous start. In the heart of the Okavango Delta, the Kaken brothers assumed control of one of the most sought-after territories in southern Africa. This area, blessed with an abundance of food and water, is a prime location for a lion pride. Lions, known for their territorial nature, fiercely protect their hunting grounds, and the Kaken brothers were no exception. With a rich supply of buffalo, giraffes, and other herbivores, the pride had everything it needed to thrive. For a while, the pride enjoyed relative peace and prosperity. Lionesses typically give birth to 2 to 4 cubs, and in this case, 6 lionesses produced a total of 13 cubs within a short span, an impressive feat in itself. Lions in the Okavango region often have high cub survival rates due to the availability of prey, though the odds are still stacked against young cubs. At first, it seemed like the pride would have no problem maintaining their dominance in the region. The strain of growth, the burden of hunger. However, the joy of new life soon turned into a daunting challenge. As the cubs grew, their need for food increased. At just 3 months old, cubs begin to transition from milk to meat, and they can be highly dependent on the lionesses for their food. The pride's lionesses, who were already skilled hunters, now faced the daunting task of providing for an ever-growing pride. By the time the cubs reach 6 to 8 months old, they are expected to begin participating in hunts, but this increases the pressure on the lionesses. Hunting buffalo, the primary food source in the delta, became an increasingly difficult task as the size of the pride grew. Buffalo herds in the Okavango Delta are vast, sometimes numbering in the hundreds, but they are highly mobile, which made it difficult for the lions to maintain a reliable food source. As the pride expanded, so did the hunger and competition for food, and every hunt became more critical for their survival. The shift in seasons, a harbinger of hardship. The arrival of winter marked a drastic change for the pride. The Okavango Delta's seasonal shifts are profound. During the rainy season, the floodplains are rich with vegetation, attracting large herds of animals that sustain the predator population. But when the rains stop and the floodwaters recede, the land dries up, causing many animals to migrate in search of food and water. This period of drought can last for months, and the delta's once abundant wildlife becomes scarce. As the lush grasses disappeared, the pride's primary food source, buffalo, became harder to find. The buffalo herds, often one of the most reliable food sources for lions, began to move to areas with more water and forage. The lack of rain during the dry season can also lead to higher concentrations of predators in the remaining water sources, creating more competition for food. The lionesses now found themselves struggling to track down buffalo and other large prey, and the hunt became more complex as they had to cover greater distances to find any suitable targets. A dangerous decision, treading into rival territory. The situation grew more dire. With the buffalo slipping away, the pride's food source was almost out of reach. The lionesses, driven by hunger and desperation, made a bold decision, trespassing into the territory of a neighboring pride. Lions are territorial animals, and when a pride intrudes on another's land, it often leads to fierce battles. However, the Kaken brothers led the charge, chasing away the rival males and asserting their dominance. The territoriality of lions is often marked by intense aggression. When one pride enters another's territory, it can result in a bloody confrontation, often with the loss of life or injury to the intruders. In this case, the Kaken brothers were able to successfully assert their dominance, but the victory came at a cost. Although they had reclaimed control over the territory, the buffalo herds had already vacated the area, and the lions found themselves in a race against time to find alternative food sources. The pride now had to contend with even harsher conditions, competing not just with the elements, but with other predators who were also struggling to find food. The harsh reality. The struggle for survival. With their bellies empty and the harsh winter pressing down on them, the Kaken pride began to show signs of weakness. While lions are apex predators, they are still vulnerable, especially when food is scarce. The cubs, who had once thrived under the protection of their mothers, were now struggling. Weak from hunger, they could no longer keep up with the pride's constant movement in search of food. The youngest cubs, still too small to hunt, were particularly vulnerable, as they were more reliant on the lionesses for survival. In the wild, cubs face an overwhelming risk of mortality during the early stages of life. Approximately 60 to 80% of lion cubs die before they reach 1 year of age. The pride's desperate situation grew even more dire as they turned their gaze toward the elephants, a potential source of food. In the Okavango Delta, elephants are plentiful, and while they are not the usual prey of lions, the pride had no other options. The decision to hunt an elephant was fraught with risk, as elephants are incredibly powerful animals, capable of defending themselves with powerful tusks and deadly kicks. Nevertheless, driven by hunger, the lions launched an attack on a young elephant, hoping for a stroke of luck, but soon realized that hunting such a large animal was more challenging than anticipated. The ultimate price, a cruel twist of fate. For days, the lions fought to bring down the elephant. Elephants are some of the largest land mammals on Earth, and their tough hides and immense size make them formidable opponents. Lions, despite their strength, typically avoid targeting animals that are too large to bring down efficiently, such as full-grown elephants. However, in this case, the pride resorted to hunting a younger, more vulnerable elephant. After days of struggling, the lions finally succeeded, but not without suffering. Their attempts to consume the elephant were brutal, as they had to eat it alive, a grisly decision born out of sheer starvation. This act, while keeping the pride alive, highlighted the extremes to which the lions had to go in order to survive. Lions are known for their ability to adapt and persevere, but even the most skilled predators can fall victim to the harsh realities of the wild. The pride's struggle was a reminder that in nature, the difference between life and death is often just a matter of timing and circumstance. This grim episode also revealed the true cost of survival in the wild, where every meal could come at the expense of something much greater. That's all for today's video. If you found the video of the Kaken pride's battle for survival as captivating as we did, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more wild adventures.